Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain you the Angular routing module concepts. So I decided to create this session as a practical session. So I'll show you how from the beginning that how to create an Angular application. So this is the agenda of this tutorial: how to create an Angular application, how to install all the third-party packages dependency in our Angular application, how to set up third-party CSS and JavaScript files in our angular.json file, what is the root module and how to bootstrap the root module, what is the root component and how to bootstrap the root component, how to create a components, how to set up a router modules, and usage of base href, router link, and router outlet. This all we will see today in this tutorial, and this all I will show you practically. I will create a separate lecture for the theoretical section of all these things. So this is a practical session. Here we will see everything practical, how we can do, how we can take anything, like suppose if something is created in some website, like suppose if in Facebook something we it looks good, we want it in our website, how we can copy that thing with the CSS, how what is the easy way to copy that thing for the new programmer, for the those who don't know good CSS, those who don't know good JavaScript, so how we can achieve that things. So this tutorial is based on that. Okay, so first of all, I will tell you the routing basics. What is this routing? Why we use this routing? Angular routing is used to navigate between the two components, basically two views. So in the basic website, we know that suppose we take the e-commerce website, a small e-commerce website, a bakery shop e-commerce website. So there we can see there are four basic pages are present, like home pages, about pages, product pages, and contact pages. So today also we will try to create all these four pages, basic this pages, how we can navigate from one page to another pages. And we know that in Angular we have one root component, so that is called as app component. So inside that root component only all pages is loaded inside the root component. So whenever we want to call the about component, we will call by slash about. Like I have mentioned the URL also. You can see here. Whenever I want to call this about component, so I will call like slash about. So this page will appear. So I'll try to create the navigation also, like some menu like structure, so we can navigate from one view to another view. We know that Angular supports the single page application, so we don't have to just create. Don't have to move from one page to another page. It's basically a view shift. So it will just load everything on once, and just after that we will just move from one view to another view. It will not load every time. Like suppose if I want to go to the home page, I will just write like slash home slash product slash contact. So this is the sub component which we will create, and that sub component will be loaded inside this app component. This is a parent component which will load everything, all component inside this app component. This is the root component. So this is the component tree. I basically we will try to understand this. So this app component will contain all the component, like home component, about component, about oh sorry, I have written here about component again. So this will be basically a product component, and last one is the contact us component. This four component I have discussed here. So this four we will create. So suppose if anything we want to create inside home, like suppose I want some banner inside home, so I will create one more component. So that for that component, the home will be the parent component, and that component, suppose banner component, will be the child component for the home component. So for that banner component, who will be the parent of who will be the grandparent of banner component? So grandparent will be app component and parent will be home component. So like this structure hierarchy will work. So we can also create some shared component like that that can be shared in all the components. So we will see later tutorials I will create for everything. This is a basic tutorial where we just see how to create the component tree, how to create basic components, like how to navigate from one component to another component. So this is the Angular CLI. I told you in the last tutorial that we will discuss once. So in this tutorial, we will just discuss how to create a component by using Angular CLI. What is this CLI? CLI means it's a command line interface. So from command prompt, you can create the component. You don't have to go and create the folder, create the file every time. Angular provides a facility just to create, just type a line of code, and with this line you can create the full component structure, like home or four files. I told you that there is, whenever we create a component, that time we get four files like HTML file, TS file, CSS file, and specs.ts file. So whenever we will create the component, that four file will be created. So we don't have to go inside that folder and create all the four files. We will just write nggc home. So this is the syntax of creating this component. This two types of syntax I have mentioned here. One is that ng, then g, then c, and after that we will pass the component name here. So there is one more syntax available, like full form of that syntax, ng, and then g means generate, then c means component, and after that we will pass the component name. Like I mentioned the example here, ng g c, component name is home. Like this we will create the component. It will automatically create that four files. So same for about, same for products, same for contacts. We will create all the components like this. So now I will I will show you how we can set up a basic routing module. We know that we have to create a routing modules also, because without routing we cannot navigate from one pages to another pages. So with the help of routing module only, we can navigate from one view to another view. So this is the example of routing module file. So here we can see that we are telling that it's a module. What is the meaning of module? Module which can contain all the components. That is the basic example of modules. Okay, so how we can tell anything is an Angular module? So to tell anything is an Angular module, we need to specify the decorator, ng module decorator. We already discussed in the introduction video that what is this decorator? Any method which will have a prefix at the rate called as decorator, and every decorator will contain some kind of metadata. Like for ng module, we will have some metadata like imports and exports. Here we are telling that what we are importing and what we are exporting. Like this we are telling here. So we are importing the router module dot, we are defining for routes. For route, what are the routes available? Okay, so this line I will explain you in the different tutorial, that what is the meaning of this when I will create the another video, like for the multi-module and how to create a multi-module Angular application. That time I will explain this properly, that because there is one more thing, like router module that dot for child, for root, like two things are available. So for now we will just see that this will automatically come with the this file. So we don't have to write by our own. Okay, just we need to understand why it is present. So whenever we will create a root routing module, in the root routing module we always need to define, or it will always by default it will come that router module dot for root, and inside this method we need to pass the our routes. So what is this routes? We see that this we have defined one variable of constant type, and this routes, and the type of this routes is this Angular routes. Capital in capital we have written some routes, and this routes is a part of this routes, and route module is a part of Angular dependency. We can see here Angular router. This is a part of Angular router. So this routes and router module we are taking from the Angular module, Angular router module. And then if after importing, I told you that whatever we will import, that we need to specify inside the imports. That's why we are writing here router module dot for route. We are passing all the routes that we defined here, and like we defined here, and this routes whatever we define, that all routes are the type of routes. Okay, so inside that route we should define like this. First we will define what are the path, like we have to go to home path, So we need to define the path, and whenever this path will be called, that time what component should appear. So that component name we need to tell, like whenever we will call the home path, that time the home component will be loaded. Like this we will define. Okay, in the second, again I have given the second path, like path, whenever there is a path about, that time about component will load. So this way we will define all the route. Suppose if there are more number of routes, that time we will define. Suppose I discussed that we will create a 4 routes, contact and products also. So same way we will define for products and contacts also. Okay, so now one more new statement. This is not comes with the Angular. This I have defined. Why I have defined is, see, when we go to the next slide, this is the app module. I told you that in the last tutorial that whenever we will create any component, that component we need to specify inside the app module folder. So but now we have two things. One is router module and one is app module. In router module also, we need to specify, because we are defining all the routes. So we need to specify all the routes here, all the components here. So what I am doing is, whatever components we are defining here, that component I am passing to this com array and I am exporting that. Okay, so this com I am just importing in the app module. So when I'm importing this com from the app module, what is the meaning of this com? Com is the array of home, all the component which is present in the Angular routing module. Okay, so I just declare inside the declaration section. So I just pass this com variable, so it will automatically include it in this. Okay, so see, so whatever this module, app routing module we have created, this also we need to import in the app module. So here, if you see here, I have imported this app routing module. Why we imported this? Because we already discussed that we have a one root module that will always bootstrap a root component. So here, this is app module is the root module, and this app module it is bootstrapping this app component. So whenever this app module will load, so this will, first of all, this will load the app component, and inside the app component, then it will start searching for the routes. So first of all, when there is no empty routes is defined here, so whenever we will call the home route, that time it will call the home component inside the app component. It will load the home component inside the app component, because the app component is the root component and home component is the child component. Except app component, all components are the child component of app component. So app component is the parent of all the components. So whatever component we will define, that will become the child of app component. So that uh, okay, fine. So this is all about app module and app routing file. Now we will discuss a router link. What is this router link? So basically, router link is this you will understand more practically, but I'll tell you a little bit about this. So whenever you want, you have defined all the path, but how you will navigate from one part to another part. So in the normal HTML, we write a tag, anchor tag, to move from one page to another page. But in Angular, that anchor tag is converted into router link. So whenever we want to move from one view to another view, we will use this router link and we will define the path of the router link. So like whatever path we have, that we can define inside this. So whenever we will define like home, so it will go to the home path, home view. Whenever we will define like about, so it will go to the about view. Like same for product and contact. Okay, so now I will start a practical session for all these things. Okay, so first of all, I'll start my command prompt. So I'll move to my folder structure, like in C drive, I will go to my folder YouTube, and then here I will do dir. Okay, it's fine. So here I will create my project. So what I will do, how to create a new Angular application. So we will type ng new, and Angular application name. So this is basically company web. So we'll name the project as company web and we will press enter. Now it will start creating all the Angular files. So for first it is asking for, would you like to add Angular routing? Yes, we need a routing. Now it is asking for a style sheet format. So we will go with the CSS in this tutorial. So now it started installing packages. So this will take some time. First it will create all the file, then it will start installing packages, because some packages will already come with Angular in the package.json file. So that packages first Angular will try to install. After that, we will use our packages also. Like we will use Bootstrap, we will use jQuery. Like that, we will install later after installing. After this installation will complete. So now the installation is over. So I will move to, I'll do the dir, and now I'll move to my folder. So you can see that here one folder is created, company web. So I'll show you the structure of this company web. I'll move to my C drive. Here there is a folder YouTube, and here you can see that there is one folder created, company web. So inside this, all the basic files are created, all the basic folders are created, which we need during the development of this project. And now what I will do is I will just go to this folder, company website. Inside this, I will create my Bootstrap and jQuery library. So how I can install that jQuery and Bootstrap library? So I will do npm install Bootstrap jQuery. How I know this name? Because I installed so many times, that's why I know this name. But what you can do is you can just type Bootstrap. So when you type Bootstrap, you will go to this website, and in the home, you will see that here it is written npm install Bootstrap. So Bootstrap also require a jQuery. So in the jQuery website, you will get this same type like npm install jQuery. This way I know that. After that, I will do save also, just to save this dependency name in the my package.json file. So again, I will press enter. Now it is started installing this both the packages. Till the time I will start my Visual Studio and I'll open this project. So this is also installation is done. You can see that added 2 packages from the 3 contributors in this seconds, like this something. And now I will go to the file, open folder, and I will start my project. So in the C drive YouTube, this is my project. So this I will select the folder. So now this project is loaded in my uh, editor. So same way, I'll just again show you like what is this package.json file. Here we have this folder name, same as the folder name. Now we have now we are starting this project. So I'll maintain this first version. Okay. After that, this is all the script we need during the development of and testing and serving the project, like ngbuild and gserve and gstart, all these things. And this is the dependency, whatever comes with the Angular, and this 2 dependency we install, this third party dependency we installed. This is the dev dependencies which is already comes with the Angular. Okay. Now what is our next task is, what is this angular.json file? So here we need to add all the dependencies, third party dependencies which we have installed. So what I will do is I will just uh, take the name. So it is present in node modules. Okay. So I will just write node underscore modules, BULES slash. I'll open that folder. Inside the node modules, it is present, bootstrap is present. Inside this bootstrap, bootstrap. There is a folder called dist. Inside this dist, there is a folder called CSS. So I will write dist CSS. Inside this, we can see that there is a one file bootstrap.min.css, this one. So I will just write bootstrap.min.css. After that, I will do comma. So in the script array, I will write the first. I'll write the jQuery because first Bootstrap require a jQuery. So what I will do is I will just go to jQuery folder, and then inside jQuery go to the dist folder, and here there is the file jQuery.min.js. So again I will also again write this file name modules jQuery and dist folder, and inside this there is a file jQuery jQuery.min.js. Okay, after that I will include the bootstrap.js file. That again I need to go bootstrap folder. Bootstrap, where is the bootstrap? Bootstrap. Where is the bootstrap? This is the bootstrap folder. Again, inside this, I'll go to dist folder, JS folder, and this is the bootstrap.min.js file. So this is the compressed version. So the size of this file is also very less. That's why we are including this min file. Or else we can also use that JS file, directly JS file, not minified files. So, but this is the less in size. That's why we are using this modules. Inside this, I will use Bootstrap. Inside this, there is a folder dist, and inside this, there is a folder JS, and inside this, there is a file bootstrap.bin.js. Fine. So I have added all the dependencies here. Now our next task is this task is over. Next task is I'll save this file also. So next task is I'll go to the SRC folder. So in the main.ts file, I told you that we need to mention the root app module file name. So root app module name. So this is the app module. Okay, this is our root app module. So I will click on this and I'll go to the definition. Now I reach this definition. So this definition is appears here. So definition is present in where? See, this is the app main.ts file, and inside this app folder, all the components and modules and routing files are present. So before this, I will tell you about something about index.html file. So this index.html file, we can see that there is a title called company data. This also we can change. So I'll write here, this is website for my company. This is fine now. Okay, so like I will tell you this base href also, but not now. In the end of the video, I will tell you about this. So this is the inside this body tag. You can see that there is a app root tag is present. So this may be some type of roots. I told you that this is the user defined component which we have. So we will see this also. First, I will go to the app folder, and inside this, I'll go to the module folders. So inside the module folder, we can see that there is the app module class, which is of type ng module decorator is present. And inside this, there is a metadata defined like declaration, imports, providers, and bootstrap. Fine. Now we see that there is only one component is present, app component. So this app component is we are bootstrapping this app component. So in this app component, if we right click and go to the definition, so we reached here. So this is the app component where everything, this is the root component basically. Okay, now I want to create some more components. How I can create some more component? So I will tell you the CLI way, how to create a more component by using the CLI. But whatever component we will create, that will be the child component for app component. Correct? Now, how to create component by using CLI. We already seen in the PPT that this is the way to create the component nggc or component name. So I will write nggc. First, I will create the first component, that is a home component. So enter. After doing this, what is happening? It is asking for something. Google, under Google privacy policy, say no. Enter. So see here, it is doing create this HTML is created, specs.ts is created, ts file is created, css file is created, and updated app.module.ts, and this module file is updated. This is the thing which whenever we create the component, this message is coming. So this is telling that what are the files which is created and what are the file which is updated. Fine. Now we can see our directory structure. If I will go to my uh, folder SRC app, so here I can see earlier these files are present. It's only app component files, module and routing files are present. Now there is one more folder is created, that is a home folder. So basically we call this as a home component, and inside this folder we can see that again four files are present, like home component.css, home component.html, spec.ts, st.ts file. Okay, so this spec.ts file we will not use for now because this is basically used to automate the things, but we don't need now. Okay, so we will work with the css, html, and ts file. Fine. So this HTML, we know that this HTML file define the view of the application. So this here we can define how user interface will look. Okay, and in the TS file, in the same dot home component dot TS file, here we will define how this basically this is the class component class which provide data to the view. Okay, so this component we will write some type of business logic in this component that will go inside the that will go to the view. Okay, whatever view need the dynamic data, that will come from the ts file. Okay, now this css file, we know that all the css related to this component we will write in the css file, but we will try to avoid this thing. We will try to create one parent css file. There we will write all the css, so that if we want to search any css, we will just see all the css in one file. We can search easily like that. Okay, so this our one component is created, and after that I will try to create another component, that is our about component. So again I will do like same way ng. I will show you this one. This is how to generate like this. So I will write ng generate and component, and then I will write about. Now again this will generate one more component. Again you can see that create HTML created, all these files are created, and this module.ts are updated. So we will see that creation is okay, but what are the things is updated in the module file. So we will go to this our module file. So we can see that it's already mentioned after when we create it. It also include that component inside the app module file, so we don't have to define again in the app module. It already defined for us. Okay, this is the benefit of this ng generate cli. Okay, now again we will create one more for products. Okay, ng generate component products. So again it will create one more component same like this. Now it is created. We can see that product is also created. Again I will create one more for contact. Enter. So you can see that it will create. Okay, it is also created here. So all the four components are now created. Now what I will do is I will create a routing for all the components. So how we will define the routing? We will define all the routing inside this file app.routing.module.ts. So I already told you that inside the import we have it's already comes as a default, like this router module is included by default. So inside this array, this routes array, this is the variable which is the by default variable. Okay, we can rename this also, but we don't need now to rename this. This is of type routes. Okay, so this is a part of this angular package, angular router package. Okay, now we will define here as a array object. So first I will define the path. If the path is home, we don't need to specify this inverted comma for this. If the path is home, so it should call some component. It will call some home component. So see, whenever I written this home component, so it already included this home component as a import. Okay, so again I will include one more component. So I will just do copy paste of this. Here I will write about, and this is for out component. It's already included, but if your editor will not include, that time you will have to include this. It's very simple. Like suppose now I will import manually. Suppose if you want to import the next component is our product component. How I will write, where is that product component? We see that it is inside this app folder. So it is inside this product. We need to include this component file. This file we need to include. So this is the class we are calling there. Okay, so now what I will do is I will write import. Okay, just empty this, and from where we need to call that from a product folder. This symbol means to search that folder in the current directory. Okay, so it will search where, what is the current directory, the where this folder is present. App routing dot module dot ts file is present. This is the file where it is present. It is present in the app folder. So it will search in the current directory, means it will search in the app folder. Okay, so I will specify the product, this folder name. So I will specify here, it should search inside the products. Inside this, it will there. Now we can see that it is showing two options, like two types of classes are present, but we are not using the spec classes, so we will use this product.component class. Fine. Now inside this, what are the class name present? So our class name, we can go to this file. This is our class name. We will copy this class name and we will paste here. So like this, we will import the file, and now I will specify the path products comma component product component. Correct. So now this is also done. Now one more component is left, that also I will define. So I will mention the path is contact, and then I will define the component is contact component. So it will already included this. This file is done. Now we don't have to do anything in this file. All the components are included, all the files are included. Fine. Now what we need to do? So what I will do now is, this is the app. I will go to the app component. So I will run this program now. I will just serve this ng serve. Let's see what are the things we have done till now and what is left. Okay, now it started compiling our project. So now you can see that the project is compiled successfully, and now we can start that project in localhost 4200. So I'll copy this, or I can directly go to here and I will type localhost 4200. So you can see that this is the template which is coming by default in the Angular application. So first I will go to my template, and you can see that in the app.component.html something is written. So I will delete that something, and now I will clear this file. Now if you refresh this, you will see nothing. And you will see that in the title it is coming like this is the website for my company that we have already we have written. You know that in the index file we have written that. Now it started compiling. Okay, so now this is coming as empty. So now in this, whatever we will write in this, it will show you in the browser. You can see that, but why it is not loading our component, like whatever component we have created, why it is not loading that component? So we can see that this is our network tab. Okay, how we can open this network tab? We will press Ctrl Shift I. So this is the network tab where how this is used, very useful tool, dev tools. This is very useful to just see what is going on in the console. We can do a lot of things. So we will see that if I will type, suppose we have created a home route. If I will type home, so it is going to home. It means that home is present, but it is not loading the content of home. So it means two things, that home routes, whatever component which is associated with home routes, maybe in that template is empty. That's why it is not loading. So we will go to that home, and this is the template. Oh, something is written here. Home works. Fine, fine. So why it is not loading this? Something is missing. So what is that something? Something is, we know that our app component is a parent component. So all the child component will be loaded inside the app component. So what are that thing which we need to include inside the app component.html file so that it will start loading all our child component? So that thing is router module, router outlet, sorry. This is the router outlet. So whatever we want to load inside the whatever there are two ways. Suppose first I will not include. I want to call this home component. So what I will do, I will just call by this selector name. I will just directly write this selector name. So it will show me that if I will refresh, it is showing home works. Okay, but if but how I will navigate? Suppose if I will change to about, then also it will show. It means this is like hard coded. I'm directly calling in the app component. This is not the good way to call, like what we want. We want that whenever we will change this route, that time this route component should load here. Okay, so that for that we need a router outlet. Router outlet. After including this, so whatever route we will navigate, that time what will happen, that component will load inside this router outlet. So we will see now. I will call the home component. Now you can see that the home works is coming. Now I will call the product component, products. Now you can see that products page is loaded. Okay, same for the contact. Now, so what we can see, by using this router outlet, all the child component will be loading inside this. Okay, so what about if I will write something here? What about if I write something after this? So it will be visible. Like suppose I will write something here. Like I will write div I am header, and here I am write I am footer. So whatever, see, before this whatever this router outlet will load, so in the top of that it will show that I am header. After this it will show I am footer. So let's see. You can see that it's showing that inside the router it is loading that component, and before that it is showing I am header, and after that it is showing I am footer. It's correct? Fine. So now what we can do here is I will just try to create one navigation. Okay, so I will go to the Bootstrap website. I will just take one navigation template. I will go to the component and I will go to this nav bar. We will see there is different kinds of nav bar available here. So this is the nav bar, this is the nav bar. So there are a lot of different. So I will copy this nav bar. So I will copy this completely and I will remove everything. I will just paste here. Okay, after that, I will save and see what is happening now. You can see that a very good nav bar is coming. Now I will change the name of this nav bar. Like I will change first one is the home, it's correct. After that, I will change this to about. What is this? I will just remove this current. I will just make everyone's look same. Okay, and this will be products, and for this I will just copy this one to here, so it will also look same way. So here I will write contact. Now we can see that it's looking like this. It's look great. Now here we will use, in the place of nav bar, I want my company name, so I will write here Naukribot. Naukribot. So my brand logo is coming here. Okay, now I want to load. Suppose if I will click on the home, so it should load. Now see, it is not loading nothing. So when I click on this route home, so it should load the home content below this. Okay, so after that, what I will do, I will write the router outlet tag, router outlet tag. Now I have included router outlet. Okay, now what I will do, I want that whenever I will click this home, so what it should display, it should display the home page. So the first way is to do this is I will just write here. We have defined already all the path like home, about, products, come, contacts. So we know that how it will act in the browser. It will act like this. Whenever we will call home, the path home will look like this. So in the anchor tag, we can write like home. For about, we can write like about. For product, we can write like products, and for contacts, we can write like contacts. Okay, now I will go to my browser and I will click. We can see that about works, home page is coming, product is also coming, and contact is also coming. No, we can see that contact is not coming. It means that something is wrong. So we will see it is just a contact, and what we have mentioned contacts. Okay, now it should work. So now you can see that it is working. All the routings are working. Okay, what if I will write this contacts which is not available? I will write something like this, which is not available in this routing file. So it will throw error. How we know that it is throwing error? Suppose I will click on home, it is working because home routes are present. And when I click on this about, it is working because about is also present, product is also present, but this contacts is not present. So it is going, but it is checking in the route file, Angular module right route file, that is this route is present. So it is not present there. So what it is doing is it is navigating to the empty route, void route. Okay, but how we can see that? Is there any error coming or not? So we will do control shift I in the dev tool. We can see that some error is coming, big error like this, but it's a very small error. We can see here error, uncaught error, cannot match any URL, any routes. A URL segment means for this URL, we don't have any route, matching routes in this file. Okay, so suppose what if I will add this in our this file? What will happen now? Whenever we click on this, it will search in this file, so it will match and then it will work. So we can see also, now I will click on this, you can see that it works. But again I will back to my original state, contact. And here also I will back to the current state. So now this routes are working, but I'll tell you one thing, that this is also a correct way of doing this, but the Angular way, how we will define the router links. This is the HTML way to defining the links. But what is the Angular way? The Angular way is we will define router link like this. In bracket, we will write, we have already discussed, you can see here, this is the way we will just pass the route. Okay, so here I will pass home. So for the first one I have changed. We will see in the browser it is working or not. I'll go to the about page. It is working. I'll go to the home page. You can see that it's working. Okay, now what is the difference? If you can see the difference also. When I click on about page, it is completely reloading. When I go to the home page, it is just shifting the page. It's not reloading the page. This is the difference if you use the Angular links, Angular router links. Again, I will change this also. I will just copy this to here and I will change this to about. Now we can see the example because we have two router links and two anchor tag. I will go to the product first. So you can see that the whole page is loading because anchor tag is just sending from one URL to another URL. But when I click on about, you can see that it is just shifting the page, shifting the URL. It's not reloading. Again, if I will click on products, it is again reloading everything. Okay, if I go to again home, it is just reloading the page. So this is a very good concept provided by the Angular. So we should use always like this. So I will use for this also. I will change to products, and for this also I will change to contact. So all this I have changed. Okay. So this is how this will work. So we can use more things from here. Like suppose if I want something like I want some kind of table. So what I will do is I will just copy the table. Suppose in home page, I want some card. So I'll go to the Bootstrap card. I want some card like this. Okay. So I will just copy this and I will paste inside the home page this way. So whenever we will go to the home page, you can see because it is not able to find out this image tag, so I have image reference, I'll remove this image reference. This we will see here. So in the, you can see here how it is coming. In the about page, in the home page, this card is coming, correct? So this is all I wanted to discuss in this tutorial. In this tutorial, we have seen everything from starting, like how to create a fresh Angular application, how to install packages, how to create a component, routing, etc. In the next tutorial, I will again come with something new. If you need any tutorial of any special kind, like topic in Angular, please tell in the comment section. If you have any question also, you can ask in the comment section. Thanks for watching this tutorial. Please like, share and subscribe this video.